Here is all of the ingredients. I just need to pull my seasonings out, and I will show you the seasoning, but this is basically all the contents of the shrimp bowl. Gonna have a small bed of the cilantro lime rice, gonna have some coleslaw, which is going to be marinated in the cilantro and the scallions and the cilantro avocado dressing. The original recipe called for you making your own slaw dressing, but I just really wasn't in the mood for that. But I think the original recipe used, I want to say, mayo, lime juice, salt, pepper, and the cilantro and scallions. I'm not sure. If I can find the original recipe, I'll put it down below, but as I do with everything, I mix it up to, suit my needs and, for the convenience of me. So there is the dressing. I'm sorry, the rice. Here's the dressing that I'm going to be mixing together with the slaw and the scallions and the cilantro. This is mango salsa that I got from Whole Foods. I tasted it. It tastes delicious. I've never had mango salsa before, but because I'm not really a fan of mangoes, but it was really good. And then the shrimp that I showed you from Aldi. So once I get ready to season the shrimp and get everything going later on, I'll come back on and show you how I make the bowl. I decided to go ahead and just mix the slaw together dry. Now I'm just doing as much as I can now as far as prepping, so later on all I have to do is cook the shrimp, cook the rice, and put the bowl together. So I'm not going to put the dressing on now. I'm going to wait until right before I get ready to make the bowl, but it's just one of those quick little things that you can do ahead of time, one less thing you have to do later when you're hungry and you're ready to eat. So alright guys, so I'm going to season the shrimp for the shrimp bowl that I'm making. So these are I'll show you the seasonings as I season them. So we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of chili powder, half teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. So this is the salt that I'm going to be using. It's just the pink Himalayan salt. And I'm not going to put much. So that's the salt. The recipe doesn't call for this, but I like to use this on my seafood. If anyone's interested, I picked it up from Trader Joe's. It's just a blackened seasoning. And I'm just going to sprinkle some on. Okay, and then next is going to be the chili powder, 1 teaspoon. All right, so this is 1 teaspoon of the chili powder. Dump that in. We need, I did the salt already, 1/4 teaspoon of the paprika. I have smoked paprika. I usually get this from Target. Recipe didn't call for this, but I'm gonna use this chili lime seasoning from Trader Joe's. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a little. Okay, and then the olive oil, I'm not gonna measure, but if you're a person who has to have measurements, it's 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So I'm just gonna do, that's about a tablespoon. And then for the garlic, it's 1 tablespoon. And I don't have any fresh garlic cloves, so I'm just going to use minced garlic. That's the minced garlic. You can use garlic paste as well. This is the minced garlic. And then I'm just going to toss this around. Make sure the shrimp is well coated. If you feel like you need a little more seasoning, you can do so. I'm just trying to follow the recipe as closely as possible. Okay, so once your shrimp are nice and coated, ideally you would want to marinate this for at least a half an hour in the refrigerator. But, you know, if you're in a hurry and you don't have time, you can always just go ahead and get it cooked up. But I am going to marinate my shrimp. And then when I'm ready to cook them, I will come back and let you see. All right, and I forgot to mention you want to use half the juice of a half of a lime. And I'm just going to squeeze that in. All right, now I'm going to put it in a container, cover it, and put it in the refrigerator. All right, so I don't want this to be dripping in dressing. I just want it to have a nice coating. I want to make sure the slaw is coated nicely, but I don't want a ton of dressing. So I'm going to taste this really quick and see if it needs anything. But it looks like I might need just a little bit more, but let's see. Just going to taste it. Oh, that's good. It does need more though. The cilantro, the onions, it's delicious. All right, so I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, that's perfect. So if you can see that, it's nicely coated. That's really good. Okay, so I have that. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute. I had a couple avocados that I needed to use up, so I just sliced those and drizzled it with some olive oil, salt and pepper. And I'm going to squeeze some lime juice on it as well. right now the rice is boiling. I'll show you that. The cilantro lime rice. Alright, so I have my shrimp here that I marinated overnight. I have my grill pan here with olive oil. I'm just going to let that get really hot, and then I'm going to toss the shrimp in and give them a nice saute on each side, 2 to 3 minutes. Alright guys, here she is. Shrimp bowl on a plate because I don't have a bowl large enough. Mango salsa. I just put the green bell peppers and red bell peppers on top of the slaw. I added extra green onions and cilantro on top of the cilantro lime rice. I have my shrimp there. I have my avocado over here. And I'm thinking I might drizzle a little bit more dressing on top, but I'm gonna taste it first. So this is it. It looks wonderful. I'll come back and let you know how it tastes. Damn! Alright guys, the verdict is in, as you can tell. It was delicious. I will absolutely make this again. If you decide to make this, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you liked it, what you did different. But this is a keeper. It was delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.